years and 8 months, they were delivering 3 times a week to the houses of Speaker Martin Romualdez. They were delivering to Aguado, to Forbes, at dun sa mga lugar identified as the houses of Speaker Romualdez, including the townhomes. Tapos nandyan si Bongbong Marcos. Nandyan si Sandro Marcos. So ito yung mga critical names that were mentioned in the affidavit. And up to now, that is the narrative of the government. Saldico is the mastermind of the corruption in the Philippines. Siya yung nagnakaw, siya yung head ng flood control scandal, siya yung gumawa ng pera sa basura. Siya yung pinuno o mastermind ng lahat ng to. And ito ngayon yung mga tao niya. Yung mga tao niya are saying, we delivered to this person, we saw and we witnessed this person getting money. And I think that's precisely the point. Walang politika to, walang narrative, walang script. They are talking about what they saw.
Ang tanong ngayon, teka lang, sino ba talaga? Anong punto nito? So,
No,
Mike,
Karen,
what is the point? What is the point?
Yeah. I think, Karen, that is precisely the point. The Marines have no malice in coming out with what they're saying. Number one, I heard the report that when Boying Rimula came out, sabi niya, panahon niya ni Lord Velasco, panahon niya ni President Duterte, and I'm happy that he admitted the truth to the deliveries. I think that's the main point. In terms of the resources, was handled by Saldico and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Sila yung main resource pinanggagalingan ng pondo ng mga operation nila. Ano pang ginawa nilang operation? Di ba ang unang lang ginawang operation was the impeachment of Sara Duterte?
Happy Tuesday, guys! Except sa mga corrupt na government official sa Pilipinas. So today, pag-uusapan natin ang naging interview ni Mike Defensor kay Karen Davila. Ito mapapa-make it make sense ka talaga. Paano nangyayari na may mga testigo na nagsasalita pero ang iniimbestigahan sila pa? Welcome back to my channel.
Unang-una, linawin na natin talaga, once and for all. Ano ba ang papel ninyo dito sa paglabas ng 18 Marines? Every single step of the way, what was your role?
Well, Karen, if you recall, when Sergeant Contessa came out, there were already talks about other former soldiers who worked with him to come out also and to talk about the issues of the deliveries, yung mga maleta delivery. And during that time, there were a lot of retired soldiers reaching out to them, to the retired officials also part of their group. Maraming nangyayari doon. And then eventually, Attorney Baligod, sometime, if I'm not mistaken, December, was talking to me about it. Sabi niya, nakakausap ko and we are already discussing. Sometime January again, binabanggit niya, nag-uusap sila.
But why would Attorney Baligod reach out to you? What is your relationship with Attorney Baligod?
Well, he knew that I was with Gutesa and that eventually, sabi niya sa akin, yung mga kasama lalabas, nakakausap ko na. So ang sabi ko, okay, and si Attorney Baligod kasi Vanguard yan UP Vanguard. So alam naman natin, in UP, yung mga Vanguard, they're connected with many military officials. So I knew that, he had a strong connection with them. And so sometime, I think, a week before that, sabi niya, ito na, meron na kaming ginawa na may mga draft na ginagawa na sila about the affidavit. Eventually, they said we will be coming out. I think it was also because marami nang na-inform or may intel reports na that there are soldiers coming out and they said, they were forced to come out that Tuesday. And sabi ko, sige, I'll help kung ano man matutulong ko. I was helping before that and I was helping during the press conference.
Sa mga hindi nakakaalam kung ano ang UP Vanguard, sila po yung guard sa joke. Kidding aside, the UP Vanguard is actually a military-oriented fraternity from the University of the Philippines, and it's composed mostly of ROTC cadets and future officers. So in short, these are disciplined, trained individuals, hindi kung sino-sino lang. And again, let's be clear. Malaki ang role ni Mike Defensor dito sa paglabas ng 18 ex-Marines. And I honestly think nagkaroon sila ng lakas ng loob magsalita because someone backed them up. And that matters.
Did you read the affidavits before you helped them out? Because you kept saying, even when I believe you went personally to the NBI. Tama, no?
Yes.
Did you go?
Yes.
You did
Yes.
say you did not take part in crafting the affidavits. Did you read the affidavits?
It was just one affidavit that I saw which eventually came out. Ito yung sinasabi ni Ombudsman Boying Rimulya, nakita ko naman. In fact, nakita ko to, the signed affidavit the day before it was going to come out. The afternoon before it was going to come out, I didn't have a copy. I saw the affidavit and then nakuha ko lang yung copy after the press conference.
So is it right to say, Mike, that you actually assisted, no? Kasi ang sinabi mo, you helped with transportation, that you
Yes.
assisted the 18 itong former ex-Marines without you really knowing who they are. You did not vet
correct.
them at all. Kasi ang delikado rin dito, your name is involved, but did you do some kind of vetting process?
If
Saan
you recall-
nanggaling ang mga ito? Bakit sila lumabas? Sinong nagpalabas sa kanila? Who is behind them? I mean, I can't imagine just, former Marines just deciding to come out on their own without anybody of some influence at least speaking with them after what happened to Orly Guteza.
Yes.
What happened to Orly Guteza doesn't inspire anyone to come out. Did you do
Exactly.
some kind of process?
Nakakaumay na, honestly. We are literally witnessing a real-time corruption sa Pilipinas. They're lying straight to our faces. Naalala niyo si Guteza, right? It was all over the news. Lumabas siya. He tried to be brave. But then, suddenly, nawala. Bigla siyang tumahimik and bumaliktad. And I'll be real honest with you. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. Hindi natin alam kung anong nangyari sa kanya, right? Pwede siyang tinakot. Pwede siyang pressure. Pwedeng nakareceive siya ng maraming death threats, including his family. So no, we cannot fully judge his decisions.
Yes. Well, of course, Karen, first and foremost is Attorney Levi Baligod. He was involved with the Lapoles case. Kilala ko yung background niya. And as I've said, Vanguard siya. Brad siya ng tatay ko, who is also UP Vanguard. And then after that, I cannot name the names, but there were retired officials involved.
So
The-
meron. Oo.
May mga former retired officials involved and they were discussing about it. And prior to coming out, I met with the two who Sergeant Gutesa spoke with. Marine officials who I think served at some point with some of them at kinikilala nila. And sila yung, I would think, sila yung naging conduit with Attorney Levi Baligod. And also si Attorney Levi Baligod has been closely working with these officials in the past.
Okay, because what got very confusing as everybody watched that press conference, number one is the 18 ex-Marines actually, they hit on everybody it was
Correct.
nobody understood anymore what was the point of the expose, right? So you had from former Speaker Martin Romualdez to Laila De Lima to now during Duterte's time to Speaker Lord Alan Velasco to Representative Jervy Luistro. So ang tanong ngayon, teka lang, sino ba talaga? Anong punto nito? So,
No,
Mike,
Karen.
what is the point? What is the point?
Yeah. I think, Karen, that is precisely the point. The Marines have no malice in coming out with what they're saying. Number one, I heard the report that when Boying Rimulya came out, sabi niya, panahon niya ni Lord Velasco, panahon niya ni President Duterte, and I'm happy that he admitted the truth to the deliveries. I think that's the main point. As to whether it would hit Lord Velasco, as to whether it would hit the others. I cannot anymore determine that. Ang problema nga, Karen, many people would call me and say, bakit ako nadamay dyan? Bakit ako nasama dyan? Inosente ang sinabi ng mga sundalo. They were talking about what they witnessed. They're talking about what they see. And Karen, if you recall, ang unang sinasabi ng gobyerno,
Exactly. These 18 ex-Marines are eyewitnesses. Sinasabi lang nila kung ano ang nakita nila. And honestly, I don't see any personal agenda. Wala akong nakikitang motibo nila. Wala silang mag-gain dito. They gain nothing. But they risk everything. Their safety. And if you watched our previous episode about Boying Rimulya, knowing na nangyayari pa to during the time of Velasco, Lord Velasco, that means matagal na nila nitong alam. So the real question is, bakit walang umaksyon? Bakit wala silang ginawa? And let's not pretend, wag tayong magkunwari dahil alam ng ombudsman ang nangyayari. Trust me. But they chose to stay quiet. Why? Because if the people in power actually wanted justice, they would have acted already. No questions. Hindi sila makikipag-argue sa witnesses. Hindi sila magtatanim ng doubt.
and up to now, that is the narrative of the government, Saldico is the mastermind of the corruption in the Philippines. Siya yung nagnakaw, siya yung head ng flood control scandal, siya yung gumawa ng pera sa basura. Siya yung pinuno o mastermind ng lahat ng to. And ito ngayon yung mga tao niya. Yung mga tao niya are saying, we delivered to this person, we saw and we witnessed this person getting money. And I think that's precisely the point. Walang politika to, walang narrative, walang script. They are talking about what they saw. As to how the ombudsman will now determine, ano ba yan, saan ba yan galing? Ang problema ka rin, sinasabi ko sabi nila Saldico yung boss. Pero nung nagsalita yung mga tao na mga kasama niya na nagdi-deliver ng pera, all of a sudden discredit. So I don't anymore know, para bang ang nangyayari ngayon, yung Pilipino, yung sambayan na nakikinig, nanonood, parang, nga no, tao sila ni Saldi, and yet you do not want to investigate them. And yet you do not want to accept what they are saying. Ayaw nyo mang imbestigan sa Blue Ribbon Committee, ginugulo na kayo ng NBI, tapos wala pa magkaso para ng abogado yung ombudsman at NBI doon sa posisyon na pinipresenta ng mga sundalo.
Kasi ang totoo, pinoprotektahan nila ang mga opisyal. Yun po ang totoo. Imagine this. Lumabas na po ang mga tao ni Zaldico. May statement na mismo. And instead na imbestigahan, dinidiscredit pa sila. Interesting. Yun ang masasabi ko.
Who should the government investigate, considering that they've alleged that there are so many government officials who allegedly received money, and not all of them are exactly in the flood control scandal. You get me? Kumbaga, hindi na siya pinpointed into one specific crime.
Yeah, well, because I think precisely, Karen, what happened in Congress was that they manipulated the budget, inaayos nila yung budget, and organized, from the program allocation to the determination of each district, kung ano man yung nangyari dyan sa budget. Tapos may mga delivery. Now, I agree with you, maaaring yung iba dito is not really exactly from flood control scandals. I do not know where it's coming from. But that has to be determined by the Ombudsman and the NBI. Now, if I may talk about focusing on the issues. Number one, there is now an ongoing impeachment case. Si Congresswoman Luistro is included in the list of those given money, including some members of the House Justice Committee. I think it's only fair na tingnan itong mga taong to. Because di ba, while it is not yet the court, kahit yung fiscal o yung prosecutor, you can ask for a change of a prosecutor. Because alam mong tainted, because alam mong may nangyari na in the past, and they were given money to to do or to act on a certain agenda, like impeaching the Vice President, which is happening now again. Pangalawa, ano ba yung delivery dito na sinasabing malalaki? Number one is the ICC. They have to look into that if they are really serious about the ICC question, because it's a major part of the affidavit submitted by the soldiers. Number three, sorry,
Oo.
yung delivery kay Speaker Martin Romualdez.